scholars, owing to my poor intelligence and lack of learning. I've relied on the sutras and the words of the excellent, so I think these bodhisattva practices are without error. However, as the great deeds of bodhisattvas are hard to fathom for one of my poor intelligence, I beg the excellent to forgive all faults, such as contradictions and non sequiturs. Through the virtue from this, may all living beings gain the ultimate and conventional altruistic intention, and thereby become like the protector Chenrezig, who dwells in neither extreme, not in the world nor in peace. Good morning, Khenpo.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I hope good day also, not only morning. Um, what do you want to listen?
Khenpo, I have a request.
Okay.
I wonder if you'd speak about the levels of faith.
Faith.
Faith, yeah. Levels of faith and devotion.
This is very complicated to separate different faiths. You know. Also, this is complicated. Different languages is a different comprehension for faith. They translate this faith, in Tibet faith, into the English, and called the faith. Tibet called the Teba. In Chinese called the Minzao. In Hindi called the Vishwas. And so many words. I think so the different words is different comprehension and understanding. There's, I think so, maybe some problem. Right? But real faith, according to Buddhism, so Buddhists recognize the faith as two different faiths, two different types faith. In general, if you practice and turn to Texas, and their faith is different. You understand? In general, just believe without reason. Right? Many people follow this kind of faith. Right? That is called the unreasonable faith. You understand?
Yes.
That faith is only follow the people say so, books tell so. People say so, or books tells, or books say, or whatever. I saw these spiritual books say, I believe. That you don't know yet there's a reason and a reality or truth or not. So Buddha said, many people, if the Buddhism followers or Buddhist followers, if you think that way, you never realize the reality of the situation, and truth of reality, and truth of phenomena. Also, you never realize, and you never liberate from suffering. That's the one reason,
Mm.
right? The other faith is called the rational faith. You understand?
Rational faith, yes.
This faith is we need. Whatever you heard, whatever you read, and not only listening, not only reading, not enough for you. You have to contemplate. You have to reflect. That is truth and not,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
We always say figure out,
Yeah.
right? You have to figure out. That faith is called the reasonable faith. We need that faith.
Mm.
And then you go little bit high levels, and then faith and devotion almost the same meaning,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So your devotion is with the rational faith.
Mm.
And then I think so you almost end of samsara.
Mm.
You understand? Right? End of samsara means no need to die. No need to change your location. You understand?
Mm.
Your house, in the your really coach or wonderful house, you almost end of samsara.
Mm.
You understand? Huh?
Mm.
So it is difficult to recognize which kind of faiths we do have. It's very difficult. Even we are really difficult who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, for me, who am I? It's difficult. Could be somebody too. This is a fundamental recognition to practice, to study, to help others. Right? So, what do you have? Which kind of faiths do you have? You know? Huh?
Mm.
Which kind of faith you have? Huh? Wonderful faith, right? Whatever I have wonderful faith, right? My faith is always right, right? Probably your faith, I don't know, right? We have that kind of nature conceptions.
Mm.
That is one big problem.
Mm.
But whatever you have really responsibility to take care of yourself. That means not only for surviving things, right? The big problem is suffering, the mental suffering, not much serious, the physical suffering, really. So only we need to do study, practice, day-to-day life. Try to change the mindset. And then if we do that kind of practice day-to-day life, that means we start already improving. We are collecting our knowledge and wisdom. At the same time, reduce negative emotions, negative thoughts, negative actions,
Mm.
right? So as much we practice and study, that much our faith will be going to stable.
Mhm.
That faith is reasonable faith and rational faith,
Rational, yes.
right? This is I don't know actually. Yes. What do you think, Bala?
Well, I think, it's so interesting to me. I think of it all the time like the first noble truth. Buddha pointed out what an impossible situation we're in ordinarily. If our mind is occluded, if we are not realized, I mean, samsara, it's one modern American nun wrote a book called No Exit. There's no way out of samsara by just trying to manipulate yourself psychologically, manipulate the outer world. And when you get to that understanding, then there's kind of a leap. You see the Buddha's example and you think, well, maybe. So there's this analysis that happens. And it seems to me that there has to be some amount, just a little spark of confidence in order for someone even to start to read, to study, and then to practice. Because my own experience is my first 5 minutes of meditation was horrible. I just saw my samsaric mind. It wasn't pretty. Then even a little bit more, you start having like even hallucinations, talking to your mother-in-law, getting into arguments, and just ridiculous things. But there has to be that little bit of confidence so that you will undertake this. But then I think the true miracle of what Buddha gave us is that the practice itself, you gain experience, even if it's just of the negativity of your own mind. And therefore, your faith, your confidence grows. So I think of it sometimes like a basketball player, some of these great professional basketball players. How many times have they shot the basket? And from their experience, they naturally have more knowledge, they have more skill, but they have more confidence at the same time, allows them to go farther and farther and farther in their training. And I think it's kind of like that for us too. You read about unshakable faith, but you can't fake it. It's not blind faith. You can't just say, I'm going to just throw away any doubts and I'm just going to say that, so you appear to others like having big faith. That's not good. You got to do the work, so to speak. So I think that's really helpful what you just said. There is irrational faith. We sometimes call it blind faith. It's a way to not look at your mind. Instead of looking at the difficulties, we just say, nope, I'm going here. I'm going this direction. It's closing the mind. The greatest thing in the world is to open your mind. And yet that's very, very not easy. Not easy. We have Milarepa's example. You see all the way, all the way. Look at the sufferings he went through, the obstacles, everything. Happily, we've got the Dharma as a guide. We have people who know the Dharma to be able to provide guidance. This is all extremely, extremely rare, but helpful. But there has to be that faith. That's what strikes me again and again and again. I think when we've had Garwinpache come to Rochester, and at one time the whole society was kind of like excited because there were movies about Tibet. The whole society was kind of excited. Uh, you have, to me, if you knew the situation, we'd have all of Rochester there. But it's not that way. Samsara is full of obstacles. When we meditate, we start to see our own obstacles. The worst ones are the ones that we don't see, that we're still ignorant of. And yet, with practice, everything is revealed. And that allows you to have more faith. When you've gone through your own difficulty, you meet someone who's gone through a similar difficulty. You've got something you can share. You can truly help them. I think lots of times about, my clients are like single mothers who are struggling with all sorts of things. When they meet another single mother in a similar situation, there's like wisdom, there's understanding because they've walked that path and from their own awareness, they can see the other person's situation. When you really understand, then there's natural compassion. It's not some thought up thing. I heard a commentator say this weekend, we're all so busy telling the world how compassionate we are. I don't have time to be compassionate because I'm busy telling everyone how compassionate I am. That's the state of the world. So thank you. I just think that this faith is really essential, and yet, it can't be faked.
Mm-hmm.
Roberta has a question. She's welcome to unmute, and I will now pass the microphone up front.
Thank you. Khenpo La, when we start our practice, we read several refuge prayers. Do you think you could take one of those prayers, no matter, anyone, and just explain it a little bit to us?
Page number?
Any of the refuge prayers. You just choose any one you want to talk about. That'd be great.
Well, I don't know how many there are.
Page 5?
Page 5?
Yeah. Thank you.
So your question? So you need
Could you just
specifically any question in here, or you need just
could you just talk a little bit about what the lines of the refuge prayer mean? With all enemies who hate me. Because sometimes we think we know what something means. We repeat it often, but I don't always think about all the meaning of it.
He's saying page 5.
Page 5. Oh.
Or page 4, Khenpo.
This is really okay. Can you read this one?
Altogether?
No.
Just Roberta?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Sorry, I keep closing my book.
With all.
With all enemies who hate me,
Uh-huh.
hinderers who harm me,
Mm-hmm.
and those who obstruct my liberation and omniscience foremost.
Mm-hmm.
May all mother sentient beings, equal to space, have happiness, be free of suffering, and quickly attain precious, unsurpassed, perfect, complete enlightenment.
Okay, good. This real meaning. This is really, we cannot think about that even. The practice is very far away. So I have a question for you. Somebody hurt you so far? Or anyone harm you so far?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Many, right?
Sure. In your lifetime, sure.
So that is your most important object of your practice.
Okay.
So where you pray this bodhicitta, pray, you just think first who had you before, who harmed you before so far. You really want for them first bring into the Buddha hold. You understand?
Mhm.
So real meaning here, you have to know who had me, who harmed me. That is what is that. That is foremost today. That means I need to help them first, my enemy.
Mm.
You understand?
Mhm.
And the first, I will bring them to nirvana. Who had me, who harmed me. We can do that or not? Huh?
Mhm.
This is really big question. If somebody's your little bit shows reaction, what is your mind? You want to respond immediately? Huh? Why he does like that? Why he does like that? Our question like that. This is completely forget, right? Huh?
Mhm.
We every single Sunday reading this one. So after read it, gone. Even not remember what this morning read. But of course, if you no need to remember every single moment, but one bad circumstance come, you have to remember that.
Mhm.
That's good enough, right?
Mhm.
So this is all special Lord Jigten Somgong's world. He written by Lord Jigten Somgong. So now these Bodhisattvas pray. This is Bodhicitta prayer or Bodhisattva prayer. Is other lineages of the Tibetans. They always read this one.
Mhm.
So we really no worry about for our relatives, our friends, our families. We have naturally loving kindness and compassion, helping others. That is actually not genuine love and compassion. That is attachment love.
Mhm.
In Taoism practice says, what do you need to discard,
Mhm.
huh?
Mhm.
And what do we need to? You give up.
Give up.
What is to give up?
Homeland.
Homeland. Two object there. Object of the attachment, object of the anger, right? If our mind always get anger, jealousy, greeding, that very, very clearly shows your, this is a big signs you not practice this prayer.
Mm.
That's for sure. But this know only for yourself, only know myself. Nobody knows. That is a good thing, actually.
Mm.
If somebody knew our mind, then really, really we are going to shine. Definitely. But good things, nobody knows our mind, right? We can show people off. Looks really nice. Smile. And to see nice, wow, so nice, wonderful. What do you need to have? Okay, I can do. We can tell like that. But our mind is totally different. You understand? So is, if that arise our mind, it is back sign we are not practice this one. That's for sure. No need to check in computer. No need to ask anyone. Even Buddha is coming here. You no need to ask. That's clear. Same answer to your mind. Right? So good question. So here, I'm just right now emphasizing the four, what is it called? Foremost is one important thing. And this goes who had me, who harmed me. Okay? This is the priority of object of your practice. or our practice. So once your enemy become your friend, so then your mind is equanimity mind, right? And then you feel and your perspectives, the enemy and friend, same level. You see the same thing. And then your mind arising impartiality mind. Then you are really, really great practitioner. Okay.
Hmm.
Huh? What?
Who are friends with enemies? You are friends with your enemies.
You must study. I don't know. I told you I cannot see your mind. Do you know you?
I know someone who
Huh?
does that. I know someone.
Okay, Bala, you tell.
Yes, Gar Rinpoche.
Uh-huh. If
Everyone's
you know,
his friend.
huh?
Everyone's his friend. No enemies.
No, I mean the one self.
Yes.
Um, the two things, the Gurchen which perspectives, he doesn't have any specific friend and enemies in his mind. But external things, for people thinking Gurchen which not everybody friend
Right.
for him,
Right.
right? The people don't really know the situation of the Gurchen which is a level of the knowledge and his realization
Yeah.
and everything. Okay, you have question?
Oh, Jack. Jack's got a mic.
Before we get too sidetracked, just going back to faith, and what we were talking about before, to me, I think, in the West, in a lot of English speaking cultures, faith is a really strong word to a lot of people, and I think even a lot of like Buddhist practitioners in the West kind of try not to use that word in a way because it has such a strong connotation in English speaking, like in the English speaking cultures. So in a lot of my experience, when I try to talk to practitioners of like some sort of spirituality in the West, faith is kind of a big roadblock in trying to have them understand what I mean when I'm talking about a Tibetan Buddhist sort of faith. So I just wanted to sort of ask you if you could sort of relatively bluntly explain, in your experience, in your mind as a Tibetan Buddhist, like what does the word faith like mean to you? Is it like belief? Is it a feeling? Is it a collection of acts of devotion? Is it like confidence, or is it like a learned understanding? And then like, is it a combination of all of these? And how do we quantify that faith, or like, how do we conceptualize it? And how does it
I
affect us
understand
on a
your
daily
question.
basis?
Beginning, I mentioned already, this is complicated. One thing. Second thing is, I mentioned already, many different types of faith. But in general, two different types of faith. The old kind of faiths, including these two. You understand? There's a real, the Buddha mentioned for faith is a reasonable faith and rational faith. That is you need. So Western culture, very strong faith, you see? Yeah, okay. I know that strong faith and believe, same meaning. Believe, I believe, I believe.
Mhm.
That's your belief. The Shantideva, the Chantakir, they said, if your belief, your mind, you think your mind is reliable, that is misconception.
Mm.
You understand?
Thanks.
So,
Mm.
the real faith rising with your contemplating.
Mm.
You understand? The what is called?
Sun.
Sun rising at the same time, the what is called shiny at the same times come.
Mhm.
You understand? Also, Buddha emphasized their blind faith or superstition faith is there some reason. Okay. So Buddha emphasized or Buddha taught us you don't believe any kind of things because Buddha says so.
Mhm.
That is big mistake. Okay. Cause of your blind faith. And very obstacles your study and your practice. And the second thing is you don't believe this is very, very long times ago, thousand years happening this, still they remain. So therefore I believe. This is the second big mistake. Okay?
Mhm.
Third one, so many people believe that, therefore I believe that.
Mhm.
Third big mistake. Okay? And fourth one, my teacher says so, I believe. My parents say so. My teacher says so. My really, really wonderful friends or partnership say so. This is fifth big mistake. That is you're right, blocked your road. And you created more samsara again. Then you always like that.
Mhm.
Not going. You didn't see the math to get nirvana. You understand? So we don't need that kind of faith. So if you don't have that kind of rationalism, such a wonderful faith and reasonable faith, that means you need study. Madhya text, Nagarjuna text, Chandakit text, and the six parameter text. They will really tell you clearly, no doubt.
Mhm.
So there you will really find out, you will figure out real faith. So now we have faith. This faith is very easy to change. Very much related circumstances.
Mhm.
Really. I saw many people something like that. Okay. Now I'm just with how many friends and your superstition faith or belief. How many? Huh? 110, one, first one, long times ago. Second one, so many people believe. Huh? And third one, keep in the mind.
Say again. Third one.
Third one, which one?
No.
Huh? Friend, and then, and fourth, huh? Teacher, and fifth, done? Huh?
Can't
Oh,
remember.
whatever. Like that kind of faith is not really used. Okay. The question is what I can do, right? Need to study, listen, teaching, read book, try to figure out, check your mind. For example, like karmic system, really very good example. The karmic system is your mind. It's your mind. The morning wake up, check your mind. There is always a karmic system. You no need to read a book. Really, you have experience. How many thoughts come? How many thoughts go? Which thoughts makes you feel better? Which thoughts makes you feel suffer? That is cause and effect. Real Sanskrit called the karma. Karma is no other than your mind. Karma is no other than your physical activities. Your speaking is your karma. Your thinking is your karma. So which kind of thinking is good, you know very well. Which kind of doing things is good for you, you know very well. Nobody knows. So that is karma. Right? Last Sunday I mentioned, if you don't want to be miserable, very easy. Don't be miserable. Really. If you want to be happy, be happy. That's all. So these two things, not really from outside,
Mm.
but in your mind. Once you listen teaching, how many change your mind? You have to reflect tomorrow morning. Since yesterday, how many thoughts I can change? Months, you never change your mind. That is something wrong. You have to more reflect. Really. That's for sure.
Mm.
Right? So
Yeah.
therefore, Milarepa said, when you're alone, best way for check in your mind. If like this morning, if you talk to somebody, what was your motivation? Why you talk with them? For reason why? What is your purpose? For benefit yourself, for benefit for other, or equally same? And then if your really motivation benefit for me, they don't know. Oh, I know. Probably they believe me. Oh, something. Your motivation is really, very dirty. Really. That's for sure. And then you have to shine yourself. Oh, I'm really every morning, all mother sentient beings happy. What is it? All mother sentient beings to be happiness, cause of happiness. I'm talking about that. I'm kind of really shameless person. Oh, but good things they don't know. Something like that. So the best way, the real dharma meaning is to change the mind. We good word modify.
Mm.
Everybody knows modify.
Mhm.
The dharma modify our mind. We no need to modify for dharma. Dharma will modify,
Mm.
right? That means all the negative action and thoughts through the way, positive thoughts and thinking and actions put inside mind. Really. If we always like negative thoughts, negative actions, then our mind and body is kind of really, really garbage can. Nobody like garbage, right? That's for sure. And if we really daily life positive thinking, positive thoughts, and doing right things for benefit other, so our mind and body is just treasure garden box. Everybody loves, everybody inspiring. That is our hand, right?
I think
Really, that's most important.
I can't put the Tibetan word for dharma, right? True.
Dharma is true, right? True. There is a definition of the dharma, and the word meaning of the dharma is different.
Mm.
The real definition of the dharma is holding up, holding up.
Mhm.
So here's 3 levels: hell, human life, and heaven. Right? Heaven is actually is a Tibet Buddhism concept of the heaven, and other religions, the heaven is a little different. Heaven place, right?
Mhm.
But in the according Buddhism, the heaven is still samsara,
Mhm.
not related, not liberated from
Mhm.
completely samsara.
Mhm.
The 3 realms and desire realms and form realms and formless realms, the 3 realms. The how to say the form realms and formless realms are heaven place.
Mhm.
They are Brahma, Shiva, Indra. They live there. Different. Okay. Anyway, what did I know? I need
What
to
was
go back.
about
What
Chu?
to- huh?
About
Cho, yeah.
Chu,
Cho,
meaning of
whole
Chu.
thing. If you practice Dharma properly, the Dharma never you falling down in the hell and the hurricanes, animals, and what is animals and hell,
Yeah,
like rounds,
hungry
3
those
rounds.
animals, right?
And if you practice more, you will rebirth again, high level or human life or God life. That just meaning is holding. Okay. If you're really good at the practitioner, and then Dharma will bring you to nirvana. You understand?
Mhm.
And the word meaning chu is change.
Hmm.
When you're listening, like if you read text, if you're really inspired, oh, this is very true. And then you have to keep mind. Like text says, oh, this, you're thinking like that way, this is really, that thinking will make you suffering. And then you, oh, immediately, oh, that's right. I need to really, really avoid this kind of thinking. That means you're changing your mind,
Mm.
right? This is really important. Malarapa said, if you change every day your mind, you no need to go to the retreat for a mountain.
Mm.
If you really live overcrowd in the city or picture hall or movie hall very loud, right?
Mhm.
And dancing and bar, you are meditating person. If your mind is really very rude, a difficult change, if you years, you stay in the mountain, nothing change. When you come back, could be getting worse. You understand?
Mm.
This is really important. So now I'm just telling you, sincerely, the real Dharma meaning is change the mind.
Mm.
So there, you don't ask me when from now, right? In the very good word, we always say, thank for what? Huh? Globally,
Right.
globally, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Globally,
Yeah.
act
Good
locally.
view.
We do that or not? Huh? Now we do. I don't. When we pray, say globally, or Mother Sentient beings.
Uh-huh.
Say, not think. If you say, we don't know you're thinking that way or not. Your thinking is coffee shop, but saying is all Mother Sentient beings. Could be. That's really sure. Sometimes. Okay, just leave it act. Act locally, not for benefit. Act locally, what do? Opposite.
Right.
right? Actually, we do these two things. Real bodhicitta, wow, this one. Really. Okay. Caution.
I don't have a question. I just want to share two things that I've been doing recently.
Okay.
Okay. One, I think of the person that I love most in the world. We all have that person, whomever it is. And then I think of a person that I really don't like in this world. Like right now it's Donald Trump, but you pick whomever you don't like. And then I think of a person that I don't know, like a homeless person I see on the corner of a street. And I sit with these three people and I realize that there's no difference between the three of them. And they are all I say they're all Buddhas. And just because they're in different they're in a different life and one represents something negative in my mind and one represents positive, they're still the same divine spark that I see in myself. And then and I get comfortable with that. And sometimes it's very difficult, but it's something to be repeated over and over again. And then the other exercise that I've been doing is if I get upset with somebody, like somebody cuts me off while I'm driving, or I think a negative thought towards somebody at the grocery store, I see something I don't like, and I stop for a second and I say, he's a Buddha, he's a Buddha, she's a Buddha, he's a Buddha, he's a Buddha, he's a Buddha, and recognize the connection in all of us. And it kind of it's helping me create more of a equanimity between all beings. So that's a good way to look at your enemies that you don't like and potentially see them in a different viewpoint that's a little simpler. That's what I've been doing.
Good. So there's no need to answer, right?
Yeah.
No need answer,
Right.
right? This is not your question, right? I mean,
I didn't have a question. I was just sharing what I've been working
Okay.
on. I was
Perfect.
just sharing.
Oh. Whoa. Time is over, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
can I ask or no? Can I still ask a question?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I was just curious because we were talking about faith, and Milarepa's a great example of faith. And is there like a point where his turning point? Because wasn't he was like he had murdered people and done some didn't Milarepa had murdered and done some very negative things, and then he ended up cultivating this amazing, faith and dharma, and then coming to enlightenment relatively quickly. So I was just curious if there's like something in his story that is more of like the turning point that led him to go from all this negativity to such a positive life and outcome.
Between one word I'm missing. Your point, real, what is your question?
Was there something that happened or a turning point? Like, why did Milarepa go from being a very negative murderer to suddenly having great faith and becoming an enlightened Buddha type of thing? Because oftentimes, if one's life is so seemingly negative and doing harmful things, you just would keep along on that. What is there something in the story that made him then suddenly go into this state of finding a teacher and going to a cave and coming to enlightenment?
That is very, very difficult question. Really. One thing is uh, maybe your question is the wrong person. One thing, because I have no high perception. Therefore, why Milarepa did like that? Right? But one thing I guess, that is I'm used, I guess, the Milarepa did many bad things. That is his karma to do that. So that karma means not Milarepa's, only this lifetime karma. Okay? From beginningless, collected karma, little bit karma, and the long terms later comes big consequences. You understand karma system? So therefore, Milarepa did murder. One thing, this start from Milarepa, or the other peoples, they killed the Milarepa previous life. They're really difficult to tell. Only Buddha knows for that kind of things.
Mhm.
And why Milarepa practice and become Buddha? That's easy. Because his text says he did many things, bad things, murders, and many, many bad karmas. And then he got renunciation,
Mhm.
right? And he see this samsara is no essence. You understand? And the best the way is really, really practice of the Dharma. And then he start.
Mm.
Once he start, he never stop until he become Buddha.
Mm.
Right?
Mhm.
And then he realized nature of the situation. That's Milarepa that. If you have Milarepa's biography,
Mhm.
there's so very, very many things. So precious things for meditation. One thing I remember Milarepa says, if you abandon ego grasping, there is no separate the generosity.
Mhm.
You understand? This is a little bit difficult to understand.
Mm. Mhm.
You understand? Grasping, ego grasping. For one thing, ego and ego grasping and I, these are different.
Mhm.
You understand?
Mhm.
I and ego grasping, different.
Mhm.
Some people is confused ego and ego grasping. Ego grasping is existent,
Mhm.
but ego is not actually existent.
Mhm.
Okay? Your answer good or not? Huh?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, in the Great Renunciation, in the story of Milarepa, did he renounce and then seek Marpa or the teacher, or had he met the teacher and that led to the
Marpa.
renunciation?
Marpa.
Okay.
First teacher, actually, there's many teachers there.
Yeah.
Man or root guru is Marpa.
Yeah. He did say he when he thought about killing all his relatives,
Uh-huh.
that the
Actually,
result would be suffering.
Mm-hmm.
But he found a teacher before Marpa, and he
Oh,
was
okay.
very lazy. As a great Dzogchen teacher, and he didn't do much. And the teacher finally said, "I've made a mistake. I know a better teacher for you. That's Marpa."
Mm-hmm.
He went to Marpa.
so this is
That all
very,
kinda goes.
very important and complicated for karmic systems.
Mm.
So one day I will try to teach topic of the Milarepa and detail of the karmic systems. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep. Yep.
Good,
That's good.
right?
Yep. Because it is a great example
Yes.
for all of us.
But one thing you really have to concept or understand, first important to really understand the detail of the karma, first thing you have to know we are no beginning. This is crucial.
We are without beginning.
Without beginning, or we are no beginning, or
No
which one?
beginning, no beginning, beginningless.
Like you think I am no beginning.
Right.
You think yourself. I'm thinking always like that. This is really helpful. This is reality. So therefore, the question is when he did, no question.
Right.
We know when. There's no beginning. Right? So right now we count the number 2020. What is this year?
2024.
2024, right? And the Buddha, since Buddha parinirvana's 2150 something
Yeah.
since. But these are very easy to count when we can see when,
Right.
right? But we are no beginning. Without beginning, we are here. I don't know how come, right? So therefore the Mepam, you know, Mepam,
Mipam.
Lama Mepam,
Lama Mipam.
and Tingun Chense. I saw your post this morning,
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Really, really wonderful Lama, the Tingun Chense.
Yeah.
Even His Holiness Dalai Lama's teacher,
Mm-hmm.
many paid instruction
Mm-hmm.
from Tingun Chense,
Mm-hmm.
right? I saw the books, question and answer, the real day life and dream. They're talking each other, day life and real dream. I'm not talking about your projection or your planning, but real dream. You go to bed and then go to sleep, and then your dreams come, right?
Right.
They're the dream, and now what is different?
Right. Right.
So there are so many practitioners, the scholars, and nobody answered really correctly. I think so. Maybe you check that. Now it's okay. I ask you right now. Now it's dream and real.
Yeah.
Huh? Huh? Now here dream and real your day. You think now it's daytime and the Sunday and the White Lotus? Huh? Not sleeping. I know very well. I am not really stupid, right? We think that way. Well, who knows? In the dream, talking like that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we don't really recognize dream as dream. When we having dream, we feel real.
Right.
Nobody recognize, oh, this is dream. Or somebody could be, I don't know. For me and not. Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
Really, really 20 minutes almost.
Okay.
That's
All right.
not good situation actually. But only 2 minutes, 3 minutes break
Yeah.
and short prayer.